So this is my homeschool planner. Sweet Presley drew this when she was, I think, 6. And I just put it in here. I started this August 2015, and I keep notes. And wherever we go, like if we went to, what is this? The Atlanta Botanical Garden. I just keep those pamphlets as reminders. And I used to be a nurse, and we'd have to annotate and document everything. And so I love writing. And so for me, we do have what tools we use, what books the children are on, and the table of contents and what they're learning all put into, I don't know, is it Evernote or something on my husband's computer. But for me, again, I love having the tactile version here. And so when we traveled to Tennessee, I have Smoky Mountains in here that we visited, and we went up to Clingman's Dome, and I think that's a postcard from there. And so anyway, let's see. We do homeschool PE. We do library story time. I'm going to go up to, we do Tribes of Judah ministry, dance ministry, outreach ministry. So I'm going to just show you, for instance, like for March, I wrote down Bible, what we covered in Bible, what Daddy and I have read to them. I think read alouds are great no matter what age you are, even if your children are reading fluidly and well, they still like to listen to stories being read to them. There's something nurturing about it, and it just feeds their heart to hear their mother and father, voice, and in a soothing way, especially when you're reading. I just feel like it's just calming, and it sets the atmosphere and the tone. So sometimes in the mornings, we'll just go straight into that if we're doing a devotion, or in the afternoons if we're having a lazy day and nothing's planned at 3 o'clock or 3:30, before nap, after nap, whatever. I'll just pull out maybe a classic book on Anna Green Gables. What else did we do? Pollyanna. We've done the Little House series. Yes, we have done stuff for my son, like Little Britches. My husband's like, get something for my boy. We've done, what else? I'm just trying to think of things. All the girly things are coming to my mind, like Little Women. But we've done Old Yeller and things of that sort. Okay, so Bible, what we've read to them. Science, we do Rod and Staff. I wrote, like I said, activities that they do. Our library offers a lot, so I'm looking at that. They have book clubs, they have homeschool groups, so we attend a lot of those things, and I write that down too. Even if you're cooking with your children or baking with them, or teaching them some type of lesson, how to prepare meals, that's considered home economics. Math, I write down what she's doing, what lesson she's on. And then for my 6-year-olds, now 7-year-olds, they're doing a conglomeration, like Kumon and education.com worksheets and Rod and Staff and Life with Fred. And I just like, when they're that young, I just pull from a lot of different resources and look at what they need to know on their level, and present that to them and see if they're ready for that. And so reading, Presley's into Pony Pals right now. Excellent series by Jean Betancourt. She also does some reading comprehension, and sometimes she'll just pull something from, our library shelves here, and that's why I just like Dinner with Olivia, And so, let's see, Jez and Jovi, they read their books. They were doing Open Windows series, and now they're on a Becca, because I love that introduces them to reading comprehension as well. You ask questions at the end, and they have to answer them. They have to remember what they read. And let's see, I just write, like, Joey is super excited to start reading the Becca's book. She, caught up to her brother, and he was like, I want to read another chapter. Spelling. We have, I don't do spelling until 3rd grade, and technically Presley wouldn't even be in 3rd grade if she was in the public school system, but we did start Rod and Staff spelling for her in January. And the twins, we just do spelling like there and these and those and, you know, common words and writing out the numbers and obviously the month of the year and the date. And so they know all of that. Like, what is my name? They can, you know, fill that out on sheets if they're somewhere like, I don't know, a church program or whatever. And they know what the words are. Let's see. Social studies. Presley's doing Rod and Staff grammar. She's doing Easy Grammar 3-4 book. Working on prepositions for writing. She has a reason for handwriting. She writes her verses in her journal weekly. And then we do pen pal letters as well. Sometimes she'll write stories and make up her own little books if she's in a creative mode. Extras, we went to Gibbs Gardens. You know, we'd had drawing lessons online. Art a la carte is a nice site for that. YouTube lessons, field trips that we took to like Piedmont Park in Atlanta, and other resources, abc.mouse.com, and we're doing PBS Kids learning and games right now, also Starfall. We started listening to the Adventure in Odyssey series. I made a video on that this morning. Okay. And then I just write down like what we did each day. Like here it was like Bible, cursive, math, reading, social studies, grammar. Oh, I wrote cursive twice on that. Oh, sorry. See, it's good to review. All right. And then, you know, just what we did each day. And I know we were sick that day, so we just watched like the whole Anna Green Gables movie, which was like, I don't know, 3 hours long. They have their Tribes of Judah dance. They have their homeschool PE. They have their Tuesday story times. And I just write down what we do each day. And then, yeah, I just keep it all in here. Like I said, I went to the zoo for their birthday, went to Bristol Caverns when we visited Tennessee. I also have plans, and like I have plans for April, for instance, that I want to cover. The Matthew C, we need to do that. So she's doing that. We also use Rod and Staff 3rd grade book for review because it's repetitive, and I love that. So it helps her with the cumulative progression of what, you know, she's learned before and continuing to implement that in what she's learning now. Reading the Pony Pal series. My library doesn't have every book, so I have to order some on Amazon. It's discontinued, so usually it's a third-party seller. But again, this is a great morally sound book series, and she likes the storylines. Rod and Staff, Patterns of Nature for science. Rod and Staff, Social Studies Workbook 2. Learning about the continents. Learning about you know, regions and continents and the people and the lands. I love that. We've done history from August through maybe March, when we ended with like Martin Luther King and all that, around that time frame, Black History Month and everything. And I finally had to put an end to history because I would just be teaching history alone if it was up to me, because I love history and so does Presley. But yeah, we ended that. And even today she was reading like A Long Way Westward or something like that. And as we wait for the her next Pony Pals book to come in. And I was like, well, she goes, I didn't even know we had this book. This is a continuation from when they came from Sweden over on the boat, you know, and now they're going from here, from New York to, you know, Wisconsin to gain their land. And I was like, well, I kind of had to shut down history because we were doing that, you know, so much. And she was like, history never ends, you know. She has a sense of humor. So yeah, that's why you don't see history on here. Practice cursive writing and a reason for handwriting. She loves to do that. And with a reason for handwriting, they build them up. You do letters and then words and then into scripture verses. So that's where she was saying on the previous video about make the most of every opportunity, you know, knowing the days are evil. Like it was just one of those verses that she just wrote last week in that workbook. The grammar, I just got this at a homeschool store, so I have no idea how it is. She seems to be doing well with it. It's fun, and you know, she doesn't have anything much to say about it, but yeah, it was honestly like a maybe $50 book that I got for $10, and I thought, ooh, 2 grades in one. Let me go ahead and just snatch that up right now because it was a deal. Really, that's the only reason I have that book. In Bible, we're reading Making Brothers and Sisters Best Friends. I did a video on that. Excellent devotional. We also have Little Lessons with God, and I read straight from John sometimes in the chapters just for them to hear the Word of God read strictly from the Bible. I wrote social studies already. Look at that. See, I have to cross that out. Reading through Bible devotion. Daddy wants us to get books on rocks and minerals in the library. So we'll probably move into that because I do my own unit studies too. We'll probably move into earthquakes and volcanoes and weather patterns, clouds, water cycle. This is why I do this time of year. Move into flowers, nature, and butterflies, birds, things of that sort, all leading into summer. So I think that's it. Oh yeah, and then weekly I write down what we do here. So every week I just write down what we covered, and this is Presley's, and then this is the twins. So weekly I just write what we've done. And again, this is probably a lot for somebody, but I love it. You know, like on this day, it's like we read from the Human Body book. We read dolphins. They were interested in that. Whales. We worked on, you know, telling time, skip counting. I mean, just everything, using manipulatives. I like to see what options I've provided and how I can mix it up. And even if things have worked, how I can go back and, you know, circle around trying those again. So anywho, this is how I do it. I know there's easier, simpler, shorter ways, but I have an affinity for writing. For those of you who've known my old YouTube channel, Heart for Him and Delight Yourself in the Lord, you know that I would scribe so much and just get before the Lord. And I even write my prayers out when I have time. But anyway, I hope this was helpful and maybe you can use something that you've seen here. Love you.